Hello, everyone. Your two South Asian girls back again to talk some football. I'm welcoming Aryanna because she's a huge Saints fan. She's from New Orleans, in case you guys didn't know. And since our teams are battling each other right now, we thought we'd come together and do a little halftime report. Even though I'm actually very excited for the Raiders, I think they're doing so much better than they did in the first quarter. So I believe we should start with you because you're technically the visiting team. So why don't you let me know what's working for you guys, and I'll work into what's working for my team right now.
Sure. Well, I think that the Saints are honestly a very strong NFC team. They have been for the past several years. We know they've made the playoffs. They had such a strong showing against the Bucks last week. So as far as what's working, I want to say everything pretty much is working for the Saints right now. They're looking great on offense. They're coping. But they're coping well without Michael Thomas. He's been their star receiver. He was the best receiver in the NFL last year, and he won NFL. No, sorry, not MVP. He won Offensive Player of the Year. That was one more MVP. But yeah, anyway, fantastic receiver, but he's been out with an injury. But the Saints are coping. They're going to Traquan Smith. He's had 4 catches for 80 yards, which is incredible. And of course, Alvin Kamara, he scored a touchdown, and he's just their dominant back. So the Saints are doing just fine. Now, Breeze did throw an interception, which I know you Raiders are happy about.
Yeah, I don't know if he's doing just fine. I think he's feeling the pressure, right? I don't know. I think the Raiders are going off of momentum right now because they were able to score a touchdown. I don't know. I'm like a Raider lover hater. I always hate on them because I just feel like there's so much improvement they could do. I haven't seen Derek Carr throw this much in a long time. And I feel like because the Saints are putting so much pressure on the run and they're stopping Josh Jacobs back-to-back plays, now it's forcing Derek to use his arm more. And for Raider fans, we're all delighted to see that because before he got hurt, I feel like he was always throwing things downfield. Now, in the other side, Drew Brees is known for that, right? He's known to be an amazing performer in high pressure situations. I'm sure second half he's going to come back and pull a true Drew Brees thing and score, 2 touchdowns. I'm knocking on wood because I don't want that to happen, but you can only suspect the best when it comes to Drew Brees. Plus, like you mentioned, he's got Traquan Smith. I think it's going to be a very close game second half. And I want to know, what do you think needs to change for the Saints right now? Or, what is not working or what is working? What can you adjust if you were there?
Right. Yeah. So, as I said, like Drew Brees is getting it to his receivers and they're able to use Kamara. But I guess, you mentioned it. He threw an interception. There is pressure on the quarterback. And you also mentioned the momentum shifting. So in the first quarter, it was very dominant for the Saints. I was watching. I was like, all right, I'm calling this for the Saints. And then I'm watching and I'm like, okay, the Raiders picking up steam. Okay, they're scoring. All right. Okay, it's pretty close now. So this game is going to be competitive. It could go either way. These are both, I think, great teams. I think that the Raiders are building and they're up and coming this season, and I think the Saints have been very good. As far as what they can improve upon, I would say, throw those slants, which I feel like the Saints are famous for, those like secure little slants that Michael always gets away with. But yeah, they have great route runners, and then they can always dump things off to Kamara. I think they can get down with the yards and get in the red zone to score.
Yeah, I agree. Kamara's been difficult for the Raiders to stop. And it's hard for anybody to stop Kamara. I think he's like one of the best running backs right now. But I think for the Raiders right now, Derek Carr has to learn how to scramble out of the pocket. I'm so confused. His O-line is holding back. They're providing him a good amount of time. I think I counted like 10 Mississippi in the first quarter when he had 2 chances to get the ball down the field and he didn't. And I'm wondering, what is he waiting for? And it's because he needs to roll out. He needs to be more confident in himself, which sucks to say because he's a quarterback, right? But I feel like he's a little timid. There's a lot of pressure on Carr. They put Mariota in as a backup. They put him on IR right now. So it's kind of like testing Carr's ability and, giving him almost like a deadline. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but that's just my perspective on everything. So I think those things were kind of getting into Carr's head for a little bit, but now he's playing a lot better. He threw a nice little touchdown pass. So I think I think just throughout the next half, he's going to have to A, maintain that confidence, and then B, utilize his passing game. I think those, if they continue to do that, the Raiders might pull this through. I'm going to predict they could win by 3, but that's just being a very hopeful Raider fan. It's their new home game, first time in Vegas and all that, the frills that are around it. I think that should keep them going, but I want to know what you think.
Yeah, I do just want to touch on Carr. I feel like in the NFL, he's gotten kind of a negative reputation just because of like his performance the past few years and overall the team. But he's a talented quarterback. He can get it done. And I'm watching and I'm like, Derek Carr is a good quarterback. I mean, look at these passes. He can do it. And I do want to point out that as far as being timid and everything, NFL teams love to, and I was just talking about like with Bill Belichick when he went against the Seahawks. Bill's thing is that whatever the opposite team is good at, he's going to take that away from you, whatever your strength is, right? So I feel like if teams know that Derek's a little bit timid, they're going to kind of pick on him, So he can get it done if, as you said, he can scramble and get it to his receivers. Sorry, you asked me about how I think the game's going to go. I'd say the Saints. I mean, it could be close. So it could be, winning by 3 points, but Saints are great. I think they could win by 7 or 10.
I think in order to win, the Saints defense has to step up. They haven't been playing too well. So, yeah, but those are just our predictions.
Do we see those sacks, though?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But now that we've got a little bit of life going into the Raider offense, I think that they're doing much better. But I want to see, what's your hat? Are you wearing that New Orleans hat?
Oops, New Orleans.
Oh,
when I was a kid, I used to go to the games with my dad and my siblings. So I remember it was like the Reggie Bush era. And this is when they were kind of still the Aints. We had just gotten Sean Payton and they were just getting good. I think it was the first season. So the tickets were dirt cheap. Okay. So my dad said, all right, let's go, let's have fun. And at that point, I wasn't really watching football much, but I still remember the Saints started winning this season. Okay. And the fans, it was so loud. You're walking out of the stadium. Who dat? Who dat? Who dat say? Go beat them Saints. I said, what's this chant? So it was the first time I heard it in the stadium. It was amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, my goal is to go to NOLA post-COVID.
Oh yes.
I'm wearing my $1 Raider top before they left Oakland because everything was on sale.
Everyone heard about them. Get out of here. No. I do want to ask you, I know we don't have NFL fans, but how do you feel like the Raider fan base is adjusting to the move?
Like I mentioned in our last show, I literally said people threw this chairs into the stadium. I was at that game, okay? And the whole time I was just like, dude, if I wasn't a sports reporter, I'd be acting out too because they lost that game. It's just the last game in Oakland, and this was what we were remembering from Derek Carr was how he's like able to throw a game so quickly. And so we were all just like pissed, to be polite. And yeah, but I've noticed that there's a lot of fans in Vegas, I think because they didn't have a football team. So when we're able to go to games, you'll definitely be able to tell whose Raider chant is like an OG Raider chant or like a Vegas Raider chant, just because, I mean, I feel like the Oakland way is so different than Vegas. But I think the fan base is my dad wanted to buy a condo in Vegas. So I think it depends. Like, they really care. They want to be there all day, every day, supporting them forever. So I think that's that. It's different for the Saints. We know they've got like a tried and true fan base, just because they've been on this upscale come up for so long.
Yeah. And just to point out, I mean, I feel like that, we say that, but there's also kind of this joke in Louisiana and in New Orleans is that the Saints are cursed. There's this weird thing about New Orleans, right? I guess you could call it voodoo or something, but, the Minneapolis Miracle happened to the Saints, and then there was that Rams call. I mean, that's twice in the playoffs that they could have been a competitive Super Bowl team, I want to say like when they, I think it was 2018 with the Rams call, which Saints Nation is still pissed about. But
I was too, and I'm not even a Saints fan.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, when something like that just throws your season, you feel so helpless, and it's unfortunate because those guys work so hard, and it's all comes down to a call, so.
Totally. Well, we just wanted to do a 10-minute quick halftime report because we are both opposite teams here and we had to give our 2 cents. So are there any last words you want to say that you think are going to happen or any crazy plans you predict or something?
I don't know. I'm hoping that Traquan continues to have a big game. And if you don't have him in fantasy, he might be worth looking into. I had him a few years ago and he didn't pan out then, but maybe now is the year.
I think if we can stop Kamara, then we can definitely win this game. And it will also take Derek Carr's confidence to just, bust out of that Allegiant Stadium. If he shows that he is able to be there and keep up against Drew Brees, because I really think he can. OG Derek Carr could. I don't know about this Derek Carr, but I think because he's got all these great new rookie receivers, second year receivers and everything like that, he's got a young team. So I truly think after I saw that interception, we could get one more off Drew Brees and win. So I'm sorry, but that's my prediction.
Right, we'll see what happens. So,
all right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. We will probably be back for Moving the Chains in a few days after we recover from this game. Whoever wins or loses, you'll probably see it blown up all over Nuts and Bolts. So don't forget to follow us, check out our socials, and we'll see you at the end of the game. Thanks for joining me.